It's back to school for millions of pupils across the country today. Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga is confident that all schools are ready. She's also announced that over 1,100 teachers have died of COVID-19. So a lot of factors in the mix there. Let's get reaction from Sadtu's Xolani Fakude. Very good morning to you, Xolani. So, back to school, how ready are we generally?
Well, firstly, let me greet you and let me greet the viewers, Jane. Well, it is our view as such that there has been some level of improvement from when we would have been. We believe that there has been lessons that have been learned, and so we are confident to an extent. However, we must mention that we still see some challenges, particularly in the rural provinces that have always had those challenges. So this would be KZN, Limpopo, and Mpumalanga, for instance. Northern Cape as well, we are told, reporting some challenges. So we still do have those gaps, particularly in terms of the quantity and quality of the PPCs, and enough, by the way, the quantity of the sanitizers and surface cleaners. So we do have got those challenges, but we must mention, Jane, that we are quite confident that we have made some significant progress and we can be ready by and large to resume the academic year.
Okay, well, that's good news. I mean, we also heard yesterday how many teachers have died due to COVID-19. What's being done to fill the shortfalls and the gaps there?
Well, that is an extremely serious challenge. As you would know, that it is not only just about educators succumbing to the pandemic, but rather it is also about the anxiety and the grief that we then get to experience within the schooling communities. That is why we always called and emphasized on the element of psychosocial services that we really need. However, what we see right now as well is that there is allocations that have been made in terms of appointments and replacement of those particular educators at that level. But also what we need to see as a necessary intervention going forward, Jane, is that we then need to also sustain this particular intervention of the Basic Education Employment Initiative, because we believe that those 300,000 or so additional hands that we have also assist educators from an administrative point of view, so that we can then focus on what is now a trimmed curriculum, so that we can be able to recover as we need to.
I should imagine that there's going to be quite a lot of catch-up. Many schools, pupils didn't have access to computers, social medias when they were away, social media. And what about those students who haven't been placed yet?
Well, we are seriously concerned about those, but then we believe as well that towards the end of this particular week, then the Department of Basic Education would have then been able to actually establish what the crisis or rather what the limitations would be. However, what we'll be calling for is that there should be a priority and a sense of urgency in terms of how we deal with those that are not placed there, because education, Jane, is a human right which all should access. But then another issue that we need to emphasize is around blended learning. You see, moving forward, what we believe should happen is that there should be a greater investment towards integrated digital platforms, because we are told that there could even be at some point a third, even fourth wave, which means that it also creates a particular level of anxiety amongst our members, because we know that when there are disruptions, when there are school closures, those that are poor in the majority, the less affluent schools, then become significantly left behind. And we believe that we should not really be experiencing that as a country. That is why we're also calling, and very emphatically so, for an education stimulus package, because we believe that education should be seen indeed as a public good, and we should do everything to invest within this particular space so that we can recover as a country. So
and everyone to be well behaved, so that schools are not closed down again, so that we don't see any more loss.
Absolutely.
Any more loss of life. And I call on you just a bit of a side here. I mean, you would hope that the focus of the pandemic will lead to schools being sorted out, those thousands of schools that still don't have loos, that don't have water.
Absolutely. Infrastructure becomes a very, very critical area. We know as education unions, we also conducted our research to supplement what the department is also picking up. And we know that we still have got those infrastructure challenges. That is why we are saying that every school must be an ideal school. Ultimately, that is what we must try to strive for as a country. And that is why we are saying that there must always be greater investment within this particular space.